you.
Chris, and I do have
I'm
a lot of native
I'm
DNA, but
indigenous
I ain't here for all that
from
shit.
the Baganda ethnic group. That's what I am.
Okay, okay. So where you from?
I'm from Kansas.
No, no, no. Not you, Kayaga. Where you from?
Like where I was born or what my heritage is.
Where were you born
I was born
first?
here,
Where is here?
North America,
Okay, so where were your parents born?
in Africa.
So you African,
Correct.
right? Good.
So where are you going with this?
Cause you were sounding like you were trying to say we all not African. We all Africans. Even Americans that were
Oh,
born here
I said
like years
I'm
ago.
not
We all
black.
Africans,
I said
man.
I'm
Stop
black.
it.
I said I'm not black.
Okay, of course we are not black, but unfortunately, black is the race is the name of the
Is there a
race
black
that they gave
yeah,
us,
is there a
right?
black gene? Is there such thing as a scientific like thing that's been
Okay,
showed up in our research that says there is a black genetic?
okay. Now we are going too deep, right?
We're
Of
going
course we are not
because
black. Our skin is not black, right? Our skin is not black. We are brown, chocolate, whatever. But
melanated. That's all you
they've
need to say.
yeah, sure. But white folks are not white too, right? Really, they are pale.
Correct. Because it's just the color.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Just like if there was people that were purple and we said, "Oh, you guys are all purple. We're all purple people. That's our race. We're purple race." Don't you see? Don't you understand how dehumanizing that is to certain people?
I understand that, but really, I don't care. It's just what they use to identify us, and we've rolled with it for
So why have to do what
hundreds.
they create though? Why do we have to do what they say we should do?
I mean, I really don't care. All I know is we African. We came from the continent, and whatever they say, black, brown, chocolate, whatever, we just need to understand that we are all Africans, right?
Well,
Gatekeeper,
you
what
start
what are
wrong.
you?
Stop trying to lump us all in together. Damn, it's okay to be different. I'm so sick of this shit. We are not all the same. We have
What are
different
you though?
quadrants.
Are you
I respect
African, Nigerian,
Kayaga. She an
African?
African woman.
Tell
I'm a
me
black
where you
woman.
from.
Damn. The fuck? That
But
Pan African shit
but
is dead.
hey man, but Kayaga said she's not black.
And that's fine. What is wrong with that? Damn.
So, can you kindly tell us where you think you're from? If you're from Africa, if you're Indian,
So
whatever,
foundational, can I ask
what
you a
are
question? Why
you?
don't you care? Because you said I don't care, right? And I think that's like inconsiderate. Why don't you care?
Because it's not a big deal. Like, you think we are black, fine. Like, if you identify us as black, sure. They identify as white, but
Found
really they are pink
realize
and
deal
pale.
because the people who created it created that idea, also created the caste system. So it is a big deal because they controlled our fate with that
How?
by creating the caste system.
So, what exactly is our fate? Like, are we failures for them calling us black, or what?
No, we're going to be at the opposite. I keep telling people we're always going to be at the opposite spectrum of white supremacy because we are not white. So they control our fate with that. Which is why you have
Okay,
which is
so
why you
I
I
have
don't know anything about Africa. My grandparents never mentioned Africa. My grandfather never mentioned Africa. My mama never mentioned Africa. You hear me? I don't have no ties to Africa. My ties are here in North America, and that's
what are
it.
you? What are you
found
though? What
We
are
been
you?
here. We aboriginal to here. Everywhere around the
Aboriginal.
world is dark skinned
What does
melanated people.
Hold
Aboriginal
on,
mean?
no. Let me respond to you. Cause the thing is, when you say that you don't care, I was telling you that they created the caste system, and by controlling our fate, they always made us the enemy in the eyes of everybody who fell in line of that white supremacist caste system that they created. Which is why you currently have different groups of people, such as Asians, who they're not white, but they swear they're better than black people because they're closer to whiteness than they are to blackness.
Exactly.
They always feel like they can step on us. So they rigged the game against us. So even if we strive and we make a lot of progress as a community, we're always going to be stepped on by other people. Always, because they created the game that everybody's playing in. It's like a matrix. And so if some of us choose to disengage with that and say, well, I'm not falling in line with this anyways because it was rigged against me. They gave me this black identity so that they could crush me on a spiritual level, mental level, physical level, socioeconomic level, every level. Then what's wrong with that? Go ahead, Big.
So, so what exactly are we trying to do here? Are we trying to move further towards
Sim girl,
being
and bitch,
white?
you can
Are
stay up
we
off
trying
my
to say,
motherfucking page, bitch, because we are not the same hoe. Stay
Shush!
off my
Shut
page,
up!
bitch. I
Shut
said
up!
we ain't the same,
Shut up,
bitch. Stay off my
gatekeeper!
shit,
Shut
hoe.
up!
The
Shut
fuck wrong
up!
with
Why
you?
you?
Stay over there in
Shut up!
England and worry
Shut
about
up!
England,
Shut
bitch.
up! Shut up!
Wait. What even happened? Like, how did this happen? Sim, what happened?
Um, basically, she made a tweet about Africans, so I just told her to shush.
Because we are not the
That's
same.
it.
Don't come over here trying to oppress me and tell me who the
No, you
fuck
didn't.
I
No,
am. That's
shush!
disrespectful. I don't
Shush!
tell you who you
Shush!
are. Mind yours, bitch. And don't come on my
Shush!
motherfucking
Shut
page.
up!
You worry about
Shut
England. You
up!
all the way over there,
Shut
bitch. Worry
up!
about
Shut
I'm not
up!
gonna lie, I love Sim's like bougie like UK black girl arrogance. She'd be like, shush, shut up, shush, shush your mouth, shut up. I love that shit.
see, that's that's the white shit right right there. Sorry,
Shut up.
slim girl, but Kayaga saying she
Tell the
likes
bitches,
it because
shut up,
it sounds white, you know.
shut up, shut up, shut up, shush, close your mouth, shut up, shut up. I'm gonna start doing instead of arguing and cussing people and reading people for Phil. I'm gonna just start telling bitches to shut up, shut up, you.
It sounds cute, but the reason why you like it is because in the UK, the black folks and the white folks, they kind of sound identical.
Called an
So
accent.
I think that's why you like
It's
it.
called an accent.
Yes, they have the same accent.
Exactly.
In America, black folks and white folks got different accents.
Well, that's their problem. And in fact, I think that black people in the UK have different accents from white people in the UK, but that's another topic for another day. Jace, you got your
Yeah.
hand up. What's that? We'll make you run you.
Okay. Yeah. I think. See. Um. I think where the problem was with that space of the whole black thing, like, it's because we're Americans, so we not affiliated with a nationality that's not U.S. citizenship. So a lot of niggas don't know how to maneuver through that thought process when you telling them why you don't identify with black, and it's because you already have a tribal identity. But that's it's a way. Yeah, niggas don't like, because I'm trying to do that with my native heritage. I understand completely what you were saying, but them niggas say the same shit about us over here who try to understand the Native American shit. They'll be like, "Oh, well, nigga, you ain't trying to be black." I'm like, "Nigga, I still file myself as black. Shut your bitch ass up. Like, relax. Like,
But Big J,
but
did you notice how they don't have a racial classification for Native Americans? Because they accept the fact that okay, we're indigenous to America, and they give them that, which is it's the truth. It's a rightful It's a rightful classification to give them. It's correct. It's based on facts. They are indigenous Native Americans, but they don't call them browns.
Hey, so whenever you go vote, it's white, black,
And
American,
we know,
Indian, Asian,
we know
other.
that make it okay. We know the world has a lot of progressing to do, and we are going to progress a lot of past a lot of things.
Yeah, but American Indians aren't called yellow. Like that's what she's talking about.
That
Like they're not called yellow people or red
they're
people. They're
called,
not signing up to be
or
called
they're
red.
called
They're
indigenous Americans. That's it. They're not called yellow or browns or whatever name they could give them. They don't give them those names. But they only do it to us because they wanted to put us in a group. They wanted to put us at the very, very, very bottom so they could step on us. They wanted to draw that distinction so that they can say we're the ruling class over here and they're the non-ruling class over there. You know that colorism and racism goes past just them not liking indigenous melanated African people. It has to do with the fact that people of darker skin color were working outside in the hot sun longer than people who were inside, which was the classism that they created, the racial caste system. It exists in India, it existed all throughout Europe. Anybody who was working outside in the hot sun tended to have darker skin. And so that's what they use to classify the broke, the poor, and the rich. The rich people aren't dark because we're inside our houses all day. The poor people are dark because they're outside in the sun doing hard skilled labor. And so darkness has always been associated with working class, poor, underclass. It predates just racism within itself. It was just the color of your skin. If you're darker, that means you're out in the sun. If you're lighter, then that means you're in your house more. You don't have to do all that hard work. So this is what they did. And they saw people that were naturally dark, and then that's when they just poor, 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 dirty, bad, black, not giving a fuck about our melanin and our genetic makeup and the way we look. And our phenotypes, which is our dark skin and our beautiful, luscious hair. Which by the way, I like getting my hair braided and like a man when he like
Okay, but you don't have a
fucking up to me
braided.
neither, because I'm not done. I like when a man like plays with my hair and shit, my real hair.
But you got a fake hair on.
Man rubs my scalp, plays with my real natural coarse hair, like stuff like that really gets to me. I really like that stuff.
man, you don't
But
like
you have a
bro. You
fake
don't
hair
like no
on
you.
right
So
now,
you ain't
though.
never like
But
a
you
freak
like,
with no wig. Yeah, you just anti
but
wig,
but you
gang.
got weave on
Jason,
What's
right
wrong with
now,
weave,
though.
I
nigga?
can wear a wig one day and
What's wrong with that?
Because she just said she likes her natural hair,
She do,
boy.
nigga.
I
She
ain't
got
never seen her.
options,
I got
nigga.
options.
Damn, you act
I
like she
like
went
changing it
bald
up.
because she put on a
Man,
I
wig.
like
What the
changing it
fuck,
up.
like,
Why can't
she ain't got to go bald. She can use
man?
I think that that's a stupid moot argument that I'm not even going to entertain, because the reason why I do different hairstyles is because I like to experiment with my image. That's it. It's a form of expression to me. One day I feel like having red hair when I'm feeling funky. The next time I like having like my dark coarse hair when I'm feeling like just being me, like my real authentic identity. I bounce around with from different hairstyles. It's how I express myself. And if you know anything about indigenous African people, we were very experimental with our hair, so that you're not hurting my feelings by saying that stuff, because this is how I express myself. I like my hair.
and you look good with it.
Thank you. I
Oh, okay, you do look good. And about Big Juice, are you African American or are you
He's
Native
both.
I'm
Indian?
both.
He's both.
I'm both.
How?
Damn, nigga, what you mean? How, nigga? I got Indians that fucked on
Explain it.
Africans and Africans that fucked on Indians, and they was my family. What do you want me to do about that?
So, if you were to do a DNA test
He did
I
do a
I,
right
DNA.
I
now,
literally
how
just
many
talked about this
percent
shit.
you'd
Oh
say?
my God, I know where you're going with this condescending ass question. He did do a DNA test. He is one of those African Americans who has indigenous American DNA. He has that in his lineage. He's done it before.
but
I'm actually
you're
associated with tribes and all that, bro. Like I'm outside at powwows and all. I ain't never been turned down because I'm a dark skinned nigga, bro. I know how to pull up
okay. So
and
you got
communicate with Indians.
African.
And I was raised by a man from Nigeria, bro. So I've been part of both shits my whole life. So it's not that deep. I'm
Okay,
not these
so
niggas you
is
be
it
running
okay?
into in Twitter spaces.
Okay, I get you, man. Is it okay to call you African?
I don't care, bro. I'm
All
not.
right.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I got love for my goddad is from Nigeria, bro. So my best friend, he was born 11 days after me.
There's no way you're not.
He's half Nigerian. I can never hate Nigeria or
I
Africa. I
didn't.
never
I,
was
I
that
don't
type of
believe
time.
you said that.
Bet.
No, I don't believe you, Jace.
What? What you
Your
mean?
goddad being Nigerian, like the you.
I'm dead ass.
I don't believe.
He's
How can you have so much sense if you were raised by a Nigerian? Like, I don't get it.
man. Look, that's what I'm
Just-
saying. My
I'm
goddad,
kidding.
he built different, man. He built different. That's the most solid
What's your
African man
problem with
in all of
Nigerians,
Kansas City.
Kayaga? What's your problem
I'm a DM you.
with
I'm a
Nigerians?
DM it to you. Why? Hold on. I'm
No,
about
no,
to
no,
DM it to
not
you.
you, bro. Kayaga, what's your problem with Nigerians?
What's my problem with Nigerians?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, if I say it, you're gonna call me xenophobic. Are you willing to listen to what I have to say without putting a label on me?
Yep.
My problem with Nigerians is I feel like they don't really respect other people, especially when they're in other people's countries. And I feel like they have a very entitled mindset and they bring that competitive nature that Nigeria breeds because Nigeria is a highly competitive country given its vast population. And they bring that mindset with them everywhere they go, not caring how they're making other people feel uncomfortable, unrespected. You don't have to be so aggressive with everybody. Everywhere is not Nigeria. You don't have to treat people.
Okay, stop there. Stop,
You don't
stop.
tell me to stop on my own space. Where the fuck do you get the nerve to tell me to stop there? This is my space. I stop when I'm ready to stop. You don't tell me to stop. Please, man.
I'm I'm about to do something. Just please, just chill. Igbo
Kayak,
Nation.
check your DM.
Igbo Nation. Chill, man.
I
Chill.
sent all receipts.
Who's this guy telling people to chill and stop? Like, this is the. Are you Nigerian? Are you Nigerian? Yes or no? Of course.
Yes, and
You see,
I'm
I
about.
fucking knew it. Only a Nigerian would have the audacity to tell somebody to stop speaking on their own space. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what y'all Nigerians got the nerve of God in you. Like, where do you get the fucking nerve?
I'm about to ask Igbo Nation to come up here and defend himself. Cause
So Nigerians are Igbo.
no, you're talking about them, but we all Nigerians though.
Hey,
Like
I don't
they're the
believe
ones
that shit.
you
No,
I'm
because I
talking about.
know a lot of Biafra nationalists follow me, and they don't subscribe to the Nigerian identity. They don't even like Nigeria. So
Okay, so when y'all see these whole scamming shit and smart, like they are smart, they are
I just
really
feel like
smart.
I
But
just feel like the
listen,
thing is, I'm not denying the genius of Nigerians. I'm not denying that. I'm talking about the attitude and the mentality. And I feel like they develop that mentality because of where they're from. And they feel like they have to implement that mindset everywhere they go. And it's not necessary because a lot of other African nations complain about the same thing when they encounter Nigerians. They
so I'm
they
trying to explain.
complain about the entitlement and the aggression, which tends to make other people around them feel uncomfortable.
So I'm trying to
Go to the
explain it.
airport and you're flying on Ethiopian Airlines. You see a Nigerian guy standing in front of you getting ready to check in. He brings luggage that's well over the limit, like 80 kg, 80 to over 80 kg worth of luggage with him. He knows the limit. He knows he's not supposed to bring that much luggage with him. And he'll be there arguing with the check-in people when he's checking into his flight, telling them, oh, you have to let my bags on the plane. Why, you know what? You should let me bring my bags on the plane. Who cares? Who cares? I will pay you. You know the fucking limit. You know that you're not supposed to bring that.
Can I
You
talk?
know you're not supposed to bring all that luggage with you, and you still bring it. Even though you know the rules and it says there on the fucking airline website when you buy your ticket, don't bring over 26 kg. You bring all these bags with you. Stuff the whole plane with your stuff. What type of behavior is that?
Can I
You
talk?
can go ahead and talk.
Okay. So Nigeria has three
We
major
know,
tribes,
we
right?
know, we know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hausa. Hold on.
Yoruba, Igbo,
Hausa,
Hausa.
Igbo, Yoruba. Okay. You barely see Hausas in the
Yes, and
West.
I'm mainly talking about the Yoruba.
Okay. Okay. Most Yorubas go to the UK and Europe, right? Most Igbos come to the Americas. So if you're talking about the Americas, you're talking about the Igbos. That's why I was trying to
Well, I'm not
get
American,
Igbo
so I'm
Nation
definitely talking.
to come up here. You're not going.
Trust me, I can tell the difference between an Igbo and a Yoruba person. Igbo people have really big heads. They have wide heads, and the Yorubas have tall, flat heads. I know how y'all look, bro. Like I experienced it,
And that's some bullshit.
and that's
That's some
Igbo men
bullshit.
have really
For
huge heads. You think I haven't dated them to know what their heads look like? I've dated them. I know what their heads look like.
maybe you just dated big head Igbo
Oh, Igbos
dudes.
have big
That's
ass
it.
heads, and it's fine.
Okay,
Because their
so
good looks make up for it. But still, that's not the fucking point. The point is that I know the difference between y'all. I've encountered so many of you, and I can tell by your accents too that you're different. It's not just the way you look, but I can tell by your accents and the way the inflection of your voice and the way you pronounce certain things. I know when I'm speaking to an Igbo man, and I know when I'm speaking to a Yoruba. Simple.
okay, but you don't know when you're speaking to a
I
Hausa,
do know
right?
because y'all roll your R's. Y'all are Afroasiatic. Your language is Afroasiatic, so I know what I'm speaking to a Hausa too.
See, I'm not Hausa like that to the core. I'm more of like what they call middle belt, but I was born and raised in Lagos. So to be honest, you can't really tell by that. But even with the heads, and yeah, there are some Igbo dudes that have big head, but it's not like that's just like a small
Really?
percentage.
So then every Igbo
Now
man I've met has had a wide flat screen TV head.
maybe you just met headed Igbo dudes. I wish Igbo Nation could
Y'all got the
jump
name.
jump
Are you
on.
Igbo?
No, I'm not even Hausa, but I'm closer to Hausa.
Okay, so just say what you are.
Like I said, I'm what they call middle belt, which is I'm from the north, which is where the Hausas are, but they call us middle belt because most Hausas are Muslims and I'm a Christian. Anyways, though, like, so talking about the scamming attitude, whatever, you most likely 80 to 90% dealt with Igbos. So you can't just put the whole coat on Nigeria. That's one. Two is even though we have some, I guess, people that are like that, we do have some smart ones that empower the entire African continent. So you can't just pick on the bad apples and ignore the
I
good
know what you're
ones.
trying to say. You're trying to say don't generalize us, but guess what? Some generalizations are based on truth. And if there's one too many instances where it becomes a pattern and it's like other people are also starting to call it out and notice it, at this point we're past the stage of, oh, not all. Okay, yeah, not all, but at the same time there's a huge majority of people who are doing stuff like this. And if other African people are starting to call it out and get uncomfortable with it, then it needs to be discussed because the thing is, I have relatives in Dubai who got deported because of things that Nigerians were doing there. and they had nothing to do with Nigerians. But because Nigerians were starting cults, doing human trafficking, selling drugs, committing all types of debauchery, and committing crimes and doing all types of stupid ass shit, all the other Africans had to lose their visas.
But Kayaga, guess what? Like I've heard a whole lot of bullshit about you,
Doesn't matter.
and
You can't tie me to no crime.
I'm actually starting to
You
find
cannot tie
out.
me to no crime. You can hear whatever bullshit you want, but you can't say that I human trafficked anybody. So I think I'm good in the hood. Just because I say a few shit on Twitter and here and there, that doesn't make me no damn criminal. And I don't endanger people when I speak.
That's my point, though. Like I'm trying to tell you, I'm starting to realize you're not as bad as I thought.
The fact that you even thought that I was bad to begin with, it just goes to show that you're a sheep. Because I've never allowed anybody on Twitter to shape my perception of anybody. Like, I've never heard, oh, this person is this and that, and automatically ran with that. I would first wait until I've had my interaction with that person to form an opinion. But the fact that you first had an opinion of me based on what you've heard is very, 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 very corny. And it just goes to show that you're just another sheep, to be honest. So I don't really respect the fact that you're now trying to turn over a new leaf and you're saying, oh, I recognize that you're not that bad, because the fact that you had an opinion on me to begin with is flawed. You got to get to know people before you have opinions. People were running around telling people that Michael Jackson was a pedophile, and they launched a fucking over 15-year FBI investigation on him and nothing came through. So many people believed those allegations, and they didn't even care to weigh out the odds and see what made sense and what didn't make sense. They ran with whatever somebody told them. And then it came out that that whole shit was a fucking sham.
But you're
But
doing the same shit with
and
Nigerians,
no,
though.
because
You're doing
the
the same
difference
shit.
is Nigerians have actually given me reasons to do that, such as the human trafficking of Ugandan and Kenyan women all throughout Asia and India, the sex houses in India that they've created to traffic Kenyan women, the trafficking of South African women, the trafficking of Zimbabwean women, the trafficking of Ghanaian women, the trafficking of their own women, the constant, when you look at NDLA, if you go on Instablog Niger, all you see is people getting caught with trafficking drugs out of Nigeria. These are things that are actually happening. These are not just things that, oh, okay, they never happened and I just heard about it somewhere and that's it. I've experienced it, I've witnessed it, I've encountered it my damn self. I've had some people do some slimy ass shit to me and my family members. And guess who was at the back end of that? Exactly. So at the end of the day, that's corny, and that's not even the same thing. Because you just came and you had a perception about somebody on Twitter. And trust me, what you hear about me, some of it is true and some of it is a fabrication. But I'm not here to argue and debate that. But at the end of the day, it's just like I just feel like why do you guys always act willfully obtuse about the things that other people say about you, especially when it comes to other Africans? Because we can't all be lying.
But I'm not like that, though.
It's fine if you're not like that, but you also have to recognize that reputation goes a long way. And if too many people are doing something, other people are going to be weary.
Big Juice just said he was raised by a Nigerian man that was a good man, and you were doubting and like, are you
I
sure?
was
Like,
trolling.
what the
I
fuck?
was trolling him. I was trolling him, which is why I said I'm.
Oh, it's okay for you, troll, but it's not okay for me, right?
Yeah, but you're not trolling me though. You haven't trolled me not once. You tried to troll me and
Exactly.
five
Exactly.
minutes.
But
Life,
you
my
treated me
business.
like
You
I am.
gossip,
I
your
listen.
problem.
I
You
haven't trolled
hate
you
me,
not
your
once.
headache.
I haven't
You
trolled you not
monitor
once.
me,
And if I
you
started
die.
trolling you, you
Your
wouldn't
burial,
survive.
I
Because
attend.
trust me,
Magana
I know how to
yakare.
troll. I know what to say to
My
get people
life,
riled up. I
my
had a
business.
50-year-old
You
woman
gossip,
screaming at her
your
phone for two
problem. You
hours.
hate me, your headache. You
I'm
monitor
definitely
me,
not the
you
person you
die.
want to go up
Your
against.
burial,
I'm
I
not even
attend.
trolling. I'm just
Magana
saying because
yakare.
I just
My
I
life,
don't hate
my
Nigerians,
business.
but
You
I'm
gossip,
weary of
your
them based on
problem.
things that have
You hate
happened to
me,
me and
your
people that I
headache.
know
You
and
monitor
people
me,
that
you die.
I
Your
am
burial,
directly
I attend.
associated with.
Magana yakare.
And it's always been them.
My life, my business. You
And you don't
gossip,
think that
your
that's something that's
problem. You
common?
hate
Because
me,
other
your
Nigerians
headache.
also
You
say these
monitor
things.
me,
They
you
also say
die.
that this is
Your
what our
burial,
people do and
I
this is
attend.
how it
Magana
spoils our
yakare.
reputation. But when somebody else says it, then that's where you draw the line. How does that work?
The thing is, I hate to be a snitch, whatever, but you mostly talking about Igbos, man, for real, and that's the whole
Okay.
truth. For, all
Who
right.
told you that I mostly talk
You,
about Igbo?
you haven't dealt with one Hausa Fulani dude, man. You've dealt with just Igbo dudes and
Where am I?
probably a few
Where am I
Yorubas.
going to meet one like dead ass?
Okay, so why you gonna judge them?
I judge the people that make up the majority and the people who do the things. And it's mainly, and I'm telling you, it's not,
Igbos are not the
and I'm not
majority.
talking about,
Igbos and Yorubas put together are not even the
doesn't
majority.
matter,
They are
but
the
you
minority.
said that they are the three major. So when you say major, I say majority. That's all I.
Okay, all right. Let me make myself clear. In Nigeria, Igbos and Yorubas are less than 40% of the population. Hausa Fulani make up over 60% of the population.
That doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end of the day, there's things that are prevalent that are happening that you're willing to ignore because you don't believe in generalizations. If you don't believe that, that's fine, but you cannot expect other people to not be weary of a certain group of people when they've encountered the same behavior and it's a collective shared experience that many other African people have encountered, such as myself. This is not about a Nigerian space, anyways. I'm not here to talk about Nigerians. I know you Nigerians love centering yourselves in every space, but this is really not about that. Simple as that. You know what's so funny though? I love people. I love, and I know I sound like I'm ranting and rambling and shit. I love how people love stereotypes and generalizations when it's something positive. Like if I came on this space right now and I said all Nigerian guys have big dicks, they know how to fuck, they know how to make love to a woman and treat a woman, they know how to take care of their women, they're all handsome and stuff like that. They'd be like, yeah, yeah, we're just amazing. We know how to treat our woman. Our mothers raised us well. We know how to treat our woman. They would be relishing in that shit. But now that it's something negative, it's oh, don't generalize all. You cannot generalize all Nigerians. Like I don't like that shit. But you don't get to just take the positive without the bad. Take all of it. It's true. People love stereotypes when it behooves them, when it makes them feel good and look good and stuff. But when it makes them feel bad and it's something to be ashamed of, then that's when they're like, ah, not all of us. Okay, well, not all of you will have big dicks. Not all of you had to know how to treat women, which is something that you guys frequently.
But you hear caping for the same people that you are complaining about though, and then you putting it on the entire
Caping
country.
for who?
Igbos?
Yeah, because the Ebos are my dogs. Those are my distant cousins.
Okay, and they're the same ones you
Dog.
fucking talking about.
No, Ebos are not Nigerian. They're a different group of people. They're a different breed.
But they the ones that do the same shit you just complained about.
Nah, they only do that shit because of the oppression that they're going through. They have every reason to.
Oppression for what?
You
What oppression, man? You don't even know
you
shit.
know the oppression that Ebos have went through.
You do not know shit. If you
They
want me to give you a quick summary, I
they don't
can. Like you
have
don't
any
know shit.
political ranking or representation in Nigeria, and you know that, which is why Biafra fight.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna give you like I'm gonna use 1 minute. I'm gonna use 1 minute
I
to
don't.
summarize the history of Nigeria.
Ebos
Like
are
one.
my dogs. I don't care what you have to say, bro. Igbo people are like my cousins. Those are my people. I don't care.
Okay, then shut.
Everything that the Igbos have ever said on these Twitter streets, I agree with. I stand behind them, bro. Those are my people. I don't even see them as Nigerian. I just see them as Biafrans. That's it.
Then shut the fuck up, then, cause you don't know
You
shit.
mad?
Oh
You mad?
wow.
You mad? You mad? Did that feel better?
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Oh.
I
Mm.
am mad.
Speak,
Never
speak,
Mm.
bitch.
I am mad. For real.
Y'all here, boy. It's funny as hell. Like this is an everyday.
For real. Like, hold on, man. Hold on. So, if you gonna give me 1 minute, I can summarize the whole history of Nigeria for you in 1 minute. Now, Nigeria got independence in 1960.
Here we go with
In,
that's
in 1964, some young Igbo officers planned a coup. which by then the North, when I say the North, I'm talking about the Hausa Fulani. They overthrew them and they killed the leaders, like they killed them. 6 months later, the North did a counter coup, which was the bloodiest one, and they wiped out the whole
I love
top
how you're not talking about how that
Igbo guys.
started, though. I love how you just skipped past all the history of what
I just told you, like their
you're
reason
a house
was
of.
corruption. Their reason was there was corruption,
Yes, there's more than
and they
corruption. There was
wiped out.
marginalization.
No, everybody was in their
Igbos were.
homeland. Everybody was in their. Everybody was in their own
They never
homeland.
wanted
Everybody. You're not gonna.
president. You are a Hausa. I don't expect you to have empathy with the oppressed group of people, but those are the real Jews, and they are
You
salvaged.
don't even know. You don't
Igbos
even
are
know.
the real Jews, and you're just a Hausa man. So that's it. I'm done arguing with you about.
Man, you're just a wannabe bitch. That's it.
Are you
That's why.
mad? You mad because I'm siding with the Igbos and not you?
Oh